Hi guys, welcome to fractions lesson number 2. Last time we talked about how a fraction is a part of a whole. So if you have one part of a cookie and another part of a cookie and you put them together, you have the whole cookie. If you take half of that cookie away, then you only have part of the cookie. So fractions are parts that are taken away from the whole thing. And you were supposed to look around your house to see what you could divide into half and have two equal parts. I think last time I showed you, for an example, our Pac-Man. If we divided him into half, straight down the middle, each side would be the same, each side would be equal, okay? And then I had something else, a different example. It wasn't this guy, but we'll use this. If I split this down the middle, each side looks a little different because of the things that are on it. So if I divide it in half, each side's going to be a little different. So that wouldn't work, like the Pac-Man. And a shoe, if I divide it in half this way, this half is going to look different than this half. They're not going to be equal. All right, so we're going to look at a story. It's a really good book called Eating Fractions. And unfortunately, I don't have it, so we're going to look at it on YouTube. And it's a nice picture book to show you how food is divided up into fractions into equal parts. And then I have two things for us to do with food. And then your challenge is going to be for you to use some food at home to make different fractions. So we're going to start with the story. It is called Eating Fractions by Bruce McMillan. Hang on one second. Did this to me before.
Eating Fractions.
There we go.
By Bruce McMillan.
I think because I paused it, then it was jumpy. All right, see the cute puppy dog? There we go.
Whole or one.
There's a whole banana.
One half. One half. Halves.
So there's
One half. One half.
so they cut the banana in half to share it equally.
Whole. One. Thirds. One third. One third. One third.
So they cut the muffin into 3 equal pieces.
Whole. One.
Here's our pizza.
Fourth. One fourth. One fourth. One fourth. One fourth.
So they cut the pizza into 4 slices. So there were 4 parts to the pizza.
Whole. One.
And how did they cut the corn?
Half.
They cut it into halves.
One half. Whole. One.
So how can they share it?
Thirds. One third. One third. One third.
So they cut it into 3 equal parts. So they have a whole strawberry cake or pie.
4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, 1/4.
So they're cutting it into 4 equal parts to share.
Uh-oh.
He wants some too. All right, that's the end of that story. So it showed us some good pictures for how we can divide up food into equal parts.
Fractions are all
So,
around us.
oops, sorry.
You know, one of the best places to see
Oh.
fractions is when we eat.
So if we divide something
We divide up whole foods like
into 3 parts, like they divided the muffin into 3 parts. So instead of saying you can have 1/2 and you can have 1/2, you would say 1/3, 1/3, 1/3, like she did in the story. And if you cut something into fourths, like the pizza, then you would say you can have 1/4, you can have 1/4, JJ can have 1/4, Jackson can have 1/4. So if you're taking a whole and you have 4 friends and you want to divide it into 4 slices, then each person is getting 1/4 of the pizza because you divided it into 4 equal parts, right? So here's an example. I have a paper pizza, okay? You can use a paper plate if you have at home, or draw a pizza on a piece of paper and cut out the pizza. So we have a round pizza, and then we're going to practice dividing that pizza into fourths, into 4 equal slices. So how would you do that? First, you would take a pencil or a pen or something. I don't have one with me, I'm sorry. So I'm going to fold my pizza in half. So first you make 2 halves of your pizza. And then you could fold for your fourths too. All right, so then we have 4 equal pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so either you're folding it in half and then half again, or take something to draw with and draw a line down the middle and then a line across like that. So you have 4 equal parts. Then you're going to take your scissors and cut them out. Cut on the line that you drew, or cut on the line that was made when you folded your pizza. Okay, then you will have 4 equal pieces to your pizza, and then you can lay them out. Try to put them together like a puzzle. Okay, and then you could say, I'm going to give 1/4 to Bryn, 1/4 to Eli, 1/4 to JJ, 1/4 to Tristan. Okay, that would be my 4 pieces of pizza because I cut it in 4 equal parts. All right, then you can take your pizza and play with it. You know, maybe you want to give half to Jackson, so you would give him 2 slices and keep half for yourself. Okay, so you can practice 1/2 or you could practice 1/4. Now, if you want to get even trickier, if you want to do even more, you could take each of your slices and cut those slices in half. There's my 1/4 and cut in half. Another 1/4 of my pizza and cut that in half. Another 1/4 of my pizza and cut that in half. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces of pizza. Now I'm going to move this to show you. So put it back together like a puzzle. Then if you have 8 people to share your pizza with, they would each get 1/8 of your pizza. Okay, it's 1 piece of your whole pizza. You cut it into 8 equal parts, so they would get 1/8 of your pizza. And Adelaide could get 1/8. Her brother Theo could get 1/8. Her mom could get 1/8. Her dad could get 1/8. We'll give Miss Carly 1/8. We'll give Anna 1/8. And I'm going to keep 1/8 for myself. Okay, so we took a whole piece of pizza. We split it then into 4 parts. Then we took those and split them in half. So that's how we got our 8 parts. So this is 1 part of the pizza, 1/8, because we split it into 8 equal parts. All right. So with your pizza, you can practice 1/2. You can practice 1/4, which is dividing it into 4 parts. And then you can practice 1/8, which is dividing it into 8 equal parts. Okay, so however many parts you're dividing your food into is how you determine what your fraction is. If you divide your muffin into 3 parts, then you each get 1/3. If you divide your orange into 5 equal parts, then you would each get 1/5. Okay? All right. Last thing, I have an oatmeal cookie here, Little Debbie oatmeal cookie. So I'm going to open that up. And I'm going to practice my fractions using my oatmeal cookie. So first, I'm going to divide it in half with my knife. Okay. Then, if I want to practice my quarters, my 1/4, I'm going to divide each of those halves into half. So now you can see I have 4 pieces. So I have 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. Now, if I put each of those parts back together, I would have my whole cookie. Okay, so each of these is a fraction because it's a part of the whole cookie. All right, now if I wanted to practice my 8ths, my 1/8, I would take each of my 4 pieces and divide them in half, cut them in half also. So now each part of my cookie is going to be 1/8 because I have 8 parts to my whole cookie. Okay, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Move that a little better so you can see. Okay. So find something at home that you can practice. If you have a cookie this size, you could probably do it with a piece of cheese, maybe, or another piece of food that you have that is round. You could use an orange. Um, an apple might be a little trickier to do, but you can try to practice dividing it in half and then in four parts. And then if it's big enough that you can divide it into 8 parts, and then practice saying your fractions. I'm giving you 1/8, or I'm giving you 1/4. Depends how many parts you cut your food into. All right, so have fun eating your fractions, and I will see you next time.